Welcome back to The Edge, Track 3, a sizing plan. We wanted to create a video for this section to underscore how important it is to mechanically create a plan to get out of your comfort zone. A lot of traders get into a comfort zone and they leave a lot of money on the table. And sometimes they look at it and say, I should be making more money. And they often look for higher profit targets or a different strategy altogether. When it's really important to understand that while not everyone's wired to trade big size, everyone's wired to trade slightly bigger than one contract. To make more money in this business is to do it with slightly bigger size. So kind of an agenda for this video is, first of all, we're going to look at what statistics are important. We're going to create some objectivity out of some of the subjectivity and how that can predict a drawdown in your trading. So let's get started with important stats. What's important? Well, just like any team, your record is important. And we want to create just a 50% win-loss to begin with. We're not looking for 9 winners out of 10 trades or 80 or 90% type of win-loss percentage. Let's just start at the beginning and try to get traders 50-50. Then we're going to look at average winner versus average loser. A lot of strategies try to get people 3-to-1, 2-to-1, where their winners are double what their losers are. And the problem with that is it's trying to lift weights and you start lifting 300 pounds. Everyone has to start with what's achievable. And we want individuals to get 1-to-1. And then we're going to look at profit loss, because at some point the P&L matters, right? Oftentimes people get away from, let me not think about the money and things like that. But after all, that's what we're doing this for. So the money matters. Are you red or green for the day or the week or the month? So that's important to take into consideration. Then finally, we'll reintroduce emotional capital and why that's important. Because when you're looking at a strategy and you're trying to objectively say, how good or bad am I trading? You're looking at these things and saying, all right, those are numbers, but can they lie? And they absolutely can. So let's go back up to the top. And let's say your record in 10 trades is 5 winners and 5 losers. That isn't bad, right? If that's what you want to achieve, 50%, you could give yourself a plus for that particular week. And then you look at average winner versus average loser. Are you about the same? Forget about costs involved in commission and everything else. What you're trying to do is create some sort of kind of level of, this is what I want to, this is attainable, and I'm at 1-to-1. I certainly don't have 3 times the loser as winner. Most individuals, again, look for 3 times the winner, the loser, and they end up flipping it around. So are you 1-to-1? And then, like we said, profit loss. Are you green on that particular week? If you are 50% with your record, you have a 1-to-1 average winner to loser, and you're in fact green, you give yourself 3 pluses because you're trading well, especially in the beginning, and that's the goal. Then we introduce emotional capital, which we explained on a previous video. How do we break emotional capital down? Well, we're going to do it with a 1, 2, 3 scale. 1 being an effortless trade. So for instance, you have a trade and it's a winner. And by the way, this is done for winners only. Oftentimes people want to review and they just try to pick apart their losers. Let's pick apart your winners. So a 1 on a particular trade would mean it was completely effortless. You didn't take any heat. You got filled on your profit targets pretty quickly, and it was a nice, effortless trade. 2 would introduce some effort. The trade stayed around your entry for a while. You took a little bit of heat, and then maybe you got filled on your first profit target, and it played around. It took a little bit too much time, but yet it was still a winner, and it was a 2. Then finally 3. While it was a winner, remember, these are for winners. While it was a winner, took lots of effort. You almost got stopped out. Took a long time to, in fact, go your way. You took a little more heat than you wanted to take. So while it was a winner, it created a little bit more effort than you would have liked. So now if you have 3 trades in a particular day, and all of them are threes. That takes a little of the subjectivity and creates some objectivity out of it. You do not want a lot of your winning trades to be threes. It's like walking through a minefield to find your winners. At some point, you're not going to want to wake up every morning and do this for a living because it's too hard. It's too much effort. You want some ones and twos in your trades. What's unique about a mechanical sizing plan, and we're not going to create the very specifics of it. It has to be unique to you, but you got to take these statistics and you have to add the element of emotional capital in it. And so what creates this uniqueness is that if you take a day and you say, I had 4 trades, 2 winners, 2 losers. My average winner was about the same as my loser. I was slightly green on the day, but my emotional capital was 3. That wasn't a good day. Now you look at an entire week, and this is what we want traders to do, is not look at every day, every trade, and get buried into the details, but chunk it out into weeks. So take an entire week and say, was that a 1, 2, or 3 on the week? Was I green, meaning did I make money, and was it a 1, 2, or 3? If you have a green week, but it was a 2, 2.5, 3, you're setting yourself up for maybe catastrophe, especially if you have a 3. Then you could drill it down to a day. Every day should have a 1, 2, 3 on it. Green days have to be picked apart. Again, if you have a lot of days that are green, however, there's a lot of 3s, you're setting yourself up for that big drawdown. And this is when you could start to predict a drawdown is coming. Maybe the market was allowing you to get away with some bad habits, and the strategy is, you're taking a little bit more heat than you should have on certain trades. You didn't cover some winners when you should have. You let too much time elapse. And you could really start to create a better predictive skill in your own review by not just looking at the numbers. Remember, numbers can lie, and the emotional capital brings it centered in this 1, 2, or 3. So do the 1, 2, 3 on trades, do them on the particular day, and do them on the particular week, because it's going to give you the ability to pick apart your green days and your green weeks. Now, obviously, it's important to have the green days and green weeks, so just try to get 50%. Don't get beat up by having the same amount of winners as losers, and don't get beat up if your winner isn't twice your loser. And again, don't worry too much about the money. However, it does matter. But when you get into your winners, when you're able to pick them apart, criticize them more than others, than your competition, than our competition does, then you're going to be able to avoid that catastrophic big drawdown day where you're going along, you got some winners, you're excited about some of the profits, and then wham, one day takes away 3 weeks or 3 months of profit. That's a common pain point of traders we work with, is that they'll have flash in the pan success, and then all of a sudden it's taken back. Now let's roll this really quickly into, well, how does this create a sizing plan? Well, when you could start to put this into perspective, you want green weeks. And when you could have a green week that's a 2 or better, meaning a 1 or 2, and you could get cute with it, you could have a 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3 scale. But if you can get 2 or less, all right, and your record could be slightly above 50%, your average winner or loser could be slightly better than 1-to-1, and you have that green week that's 2 or less, you then mechanically have to go up incrementally. Creating a sizing plan isn't about going from a 1 contract size to 10. It's about going from 1 to 2 to 3 and on your way to 10. So that a 10 lot ends up feeling like a 1 lot. The toughest part of this process is always going to be 1 to 2. This will be the only time you're going to double your size and therefore your risk. That's going to be the hardest for most people, going from 1 to 2. But if you're able to push your comfort zone out, when you have some winning trades and some winning days and weeks and months and profits, then increase your size. A 3 lot will feel like a 1, and not only will you give yourself the flexibility to scale out, to pay for trades, to be more comfortable knowing where to get out, than to get in, to avoid having trouble executing. You'll be able to do it, but you'll be able to do it taking that subjectivity, this invisible psychology that we call emotional capital, and apply it to say, you know what, I'm trading really well, and mechanically I have to go up next week by one contract. Not 5, not 6, not 10. Often people try to say, well, making some money, let's increase my size and double my rewards, and all of a sudden it feels different. You know you went up too fast when you start to feel the emotion when you have an open position. But when a 3 contract size feels like 1 used to, and when 2 contracts feels like Sim used to, you know you went up incrementally. One of the mistakes traders have made that have been very profitable is they stayed at a contract size too long, and they were just comfortable. And they left a lot of money on the table because most often the contracts or products you're trading are big enough, thick enough to trade all you could handle. So if you don't mechanically do it, however, you'll stay in that comfort zone. But remember this, these are statistics that will lie to you unless you incorporate the emotional capital aspect of how much effort winners take. You don't want to feel like you walk through a minefield every time you had winning trades and winning days.